Ciao friends! Okay, I am in Rome. This is a part of my amazing, beautiful suite here at Quirinale Hotel, and I'm about to go downstairs to sit down with Marco Benedetti himself to talk to him about my newest tarocchi from him. I feel so very grateful and so very honored and humbled to be Marco's guest in this hotel, but also I'm very, very excited about filming this video for us. So let's go and meet Marco Benedetti. Hello everyone, welcome to Musings by Masha. I am very excited to be coming to you today with a walkthrough. It's a very special walkthrough of a very special deck, but as you can see, I'm coming to you today with Marco Benedetti.
Hello everybody.
Created this tarot, the homage to Visconti Tarot. But even the whole thing of me welcoming you to my channel today, it feels really strange because Marco and we are coming to you all the way from Rome, from Marco's Hotel Quirinale here in a very central area of Rome. So I am actually the one who feels the most welcome, and I of course have to express my gratitude to you, Marco, for
it was a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I kind of told my friends that I feel like a princess in this hotel. I really am, and this tarot you will see, it's very princessy tarot as well. So yes, homage to Visconti, Marco. Can you just, it's your own creation, right?
Yes.
And we will see it in a few moments, but what was your main inspiration of creating your own version of paying homage to one of the historic decks?
Yes, it's a long story, of course, because it started in 1975 when I started playing tarot. And it was after the Visconti Homage was first published in Italy with Franco Maria Ricci, who made a special edition with the Italo Calvino, who wrote a novel, this sort of crossword with tarot. And that's how I knew tarot with the Visconti. I got the imprinting from the Visconti Sforza. And later I worked a lot with the Virt tarot, and Virt looked for, seems to look better for the original tarot in his book, the original symbols. Actually, in my opinion, he filled the images of more symbols, too many symbols in a card. My humble opinion, tarot is one symbol. You don't need the extra relation. I put this flower because this flower means no. The card has one meaning. Period. In my opinion, should be the most simple as possible. And also, when you start studying minimum of history of tarot, passionate by history, so I studied this. Immediately you dream to find the original tarot, your tarot that we don't know, and so sort of Dunning-Kruger, if you want, at least at the I not the knowledge to make this, of course, at the time. I'll recreate the tarot with simple symbol. Cleaned from the over building. Yes, that was the idea. But I was not sure of the graphic look. The look of at the beginning, I made a black and white drawing. For instance, I decided to make a real Visconti homage after visiting the Piltdown Morgan Library in New York. I had in my hand the original cards. I was very lucky to have a special visit. I understood that the gold is gold background is one of the secrets of tarot. Because well, it was used by, in essence, the painters, the gold as a background because it creates maximum of light, and it creates also a sort of aura around the images, and this helps the concentration to go into the reading. There was tried to read. I was a reader, and I wanted to make a tool for readers. So instrument was just the symbols, so we are focused on the real meaning on the card, and this aesthetic situation with the gold that help you to go deep in the reading.
Yeah, I'm just showing people, just for
yes,
people who are not familiar, so they can see the simplicity of the symbol,
yes.
They can see the gold foiling.
Yes. This, of course, is made with a special printer who make gold. At the era, you use the gold foil, well, like the one we have here in the wall. We have one.
And we will have a look at that.
Yes, later. Yes, this is a real gold foil, and tempered. This, of course, is printed with a special Japanese printer who can make gold and silver foil perfectly aligned with the images. Because usually to have gold and silver, we have to make a second pass, so we have to manually align the images, and you never have the perfect.
No, and yeah, because I have seen the cards myself, and when I do show you, when I turn the camera down, so you will see, my friends, that some of the cards, they feature both the gold foiling and silver foiling, which I think make these cards even more special. So yeah.
Yes, and printing gold and silver on the same card is an extra step of difficulties. Yes, I spoke this morning for other things, for the hotel, with a printer, professional printer, and confirmed that there is no way industrially to make this with the perfect alignment. The only way is this auto production Japanese printer who make this job.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's extremely expensive to do.
Yeah.
And well, I'm sorry that I cannot sell this deck at a decent price. I know this is outrageously expensive, but it's expensive at the origin.
But it's a handcrafted, it's a handcrafted deck on a very special printer, for sure, No, thank you so much for sharing this. And let us now have a look at these magnificent cards. I Tarocchi, Marco Benedetti. In here we do see that reference to Visconti Sforza Tarot, and that's the symbol that I actually saw in Milan on the castle, on the Sforza castle. So the cards, they come in this box, and the inside of the box is wooden, magnetic closure, and it's absolutely delightful. And here we read Marco Benedetti, the years, fatto a mano, made by hand, espressamente per Masha Kutsia, especially for me. So let's pull the cards out now. They're just beautiful. Here's the box. We can see immediately this beautiful golden foiling that Marco and I were talking about, because it's a handmade deck, right? So we have the printed side of the card and the backing glued together, and the back is red, so with the inspiration, of course, of the original Visconti Sforza Tarot, which also has red backs. And because of the cards being handmade, you can see the cards are much thicker than your other decks would be, because they are made and glued by hand. So let's have a look now at our cards. We have here the Full El Mato. It's this Visconti Homage, of course, as Marco specified. It's more a minimalist version with unnecessary, well, according to Marco, right, symbology removed, and I do love the purpose having a tarot card. And this golden foiling makes this card so special. Our Emperor. I have wanted this tarot for quite a while now, and it's such a treat that I could actually get it from Marco's hands directly into mine. Love the Hermit. Beautiful blues. The colors are really beautiful here. I do love those muted pinks as well that we see in some of the cards, like in the La Forza. I'm so happy to have this Tarocchi. Makes another a very special token, a memory for me on my trip, on my amazing trip that I've had in Italy. And Rome, of course, is my last stop. I do love the moon card very much, and the Apollo for the sun, as we do see in Vachetta Tarot, which I used to call Vachetta, but now I know better. Justice. We have the World. So now we're going to the Minor Arcana. So the minor cards, the cards of the Minor Arcana, are stylization based on the original Visconti Sforza Tarot, which of course was Marco's inspiration for creating his own deck. The Two of Cups, very special. We do see the same text as we see here on the box. And the cards are made for me. I'm so thrilled to have this handmade tarocchi from Marco. I do love the size of the chalices of the cups, nice and large sizing here. So these cards, when it comes to their size, they are much smaller than the original Visconti Sforza Tarot, right, which is huge, and almost for some of us with smaller hands unmanageable to shuffle. These cards, the dimension would be slightly different than a standard tarot deck, but roughly around that same size as a standard tarot deck. Now with the court cards, they are color-coded here according to their suit, right? And here we are with the suit of cups. So we see the dominance of the red color, I mean blue stockings, but the dominance of the red color in the clothing of the court cards of the suit of cups. And Marco believes that the orientation also of the original cards, so we have the page facing over to the left, the cavalier is going over to the right, the queen is facing straight ahead, and the king is facing over to the right as well. So Marco believes that the orientation of the original cards, as in direction where the characters are facing, is interesting and not accidental. Now we are in the suit of swords, and here you see, as you may have noticed in some other cards, the silver foiling here. So we have the gold foiling, we have the silver foiling of that special printer that Marco has from Japan that he talked about. I love a lot of space, the simplicity of the cards. You can see the gold and the silver. You can see that simplicity, right? That minimalistic style of these cards, but also that luxury added with the shine of the silver and gold. Our swords, of course, they are silver for most part, or the ones that I've seen in the museums in Italy. And we do have the dominant color is actually silver for the attire of the courts of the suit of swords. So we see the pages facing straight ahead. The cavalier is moving over to the left, different from the suit of cups, right? The queen is facing over to the right, and the king is facing straight ahead in his silver armor here. Now for batons. You can see again the dominant side of the ribbon is gold, and that, of course, the silver. They're just beautiful. I'm so excited. And I, of course, will be reading with these cards. Especially, as you may have seen, but I haven't posted too much on YouTube, that I have now seen two the cards from the original Visconti decks from the Brambilla and the one in Carrara Academy in Bergamo. So I did see the original Visconti cards on my trip in Italy, which I'm so very fortunate to have done and so honored to be able to see. But yes, so Visconti Tarot has become very special to me, and now that I've met Marco in person, Marco has become a very special person to me as well, as a tarot person, as a tarot friend. So having his Visconti Homage deck is once again here very special. So we see the blue is the dominant for clothing for the suit of batons. So is the page looking over to the right. The cavalier is riding in the same direction. The queen is facing straight ahead. And the king is also looking straight ahead at us with the stockings of being red. And I would probably guess that the fashion of the time as well, right, influenced the color of the stockings of these quartz. And then we have, again, that same Sforza symbol and the ace of coins. And the coins are round and gold, perfect for coins, round and gold. Very simple. Beautiful in their simplicity. The cards feel really beautiful in the hands. And then we have the yellow for the color for the quartz of the suit of coins. There's the page and cavalier and the queen looking all into the same direction to the left. I do love, of course, I read directionally, I read pictorially, so these cards are wonderful for that. So here they are, my beautiful Tarocchi cards from Marco Benedetti, Visconti Homage. Just listen to the sound. Let us now give the cards a shuffle. please forgive me if you don't riffle, but I could not resist to try and do my corner riffle. But I think even with the golden shiny foiling, it looks delicious, it looks luxurious, but I think with time these cards will look even better with use. Yeah, they shuffle wonderfully. I love the sound of the handmade cards, that very light, very airy sound. And now let us return back to Marco to talk in detail with him about the extension pack that comes with his Visconti Homage Tarocchi. So Marco, with the Visconti Homage, this tarot, you also included an extra pack of cards, right?
Yes.
So it's quite a number of cards, and they come in that special box. I'm just kind of showing it with my hand so you can see, my friends. But what influenced your decision to create that extra pack? And if you can just talk about some of the cards.
Yes, sure, but this is the history of this deck actually. You take in mind that this deck was completed, the final version with gold foil and everything, in 1996, which is almost 30 years ago. And then the deck was there for 20 years more, because it has nothing to do with this. It was impossible to print it. Even today it's impossible to print this way. Since 10 years ago, about, somebody on the internet convinced me to print a version with white background, and I put it on MPC, make playing card. So. This way I met a lot of people on Facebook, especially my great friend Cheryl Smith, and we met on a tarot history group. She said, "But you are Marco Benedetti, you met this deck on..." Yes, that's me. And this is we started, I'd say, playing together, because we made some. She helped me to develop a few of the card on this deck, not here, especially the Devil and the Tower, which in the first version was inspired by Tarot de Marseille classic. Cheryl convinced me to make Devil and Tower in a more ancient images, copying, if you want, older images like the one in Rosenwald Tarot, for instance. And at this point I had a few versions of this same card, because you know that not all the style have the same symbol. Now, I have a theory on this. I don't know if it's the right moment to talk about this theory. It's very simple. There are cards in which the symbol is not on the ground, but is in the air, in the card. There are the star, moon, and sun, of course, but also the lovers. Actually, it's not the lovers, is Cupid. The main character is Cupid, which is
above,
yes, in the air. And these are the cards in which are the main difference between TDM or Tarocchino Bolognese. The main difference in these cards in which the symbol is in the air. And this is correct in my opinion, because the symbol is the sun. The sun is always the sun. Then you have a descriptive chain downstairs on the ground, which vary according to the region, Italy, France. But this is due to this square, the size. You cannot put a symbol in the middle, leaving empty place. is graphically it doesn't work. So we have to feel the image. That's why we have the sun is not just a sun like in Rosenwald, for instance, but it's a very small card and almost square. With elongated cards, doesn't work. That's why we have, in my opinion, of course, in these cards the chance with two Geminis with sun or whatever. So after making the alternative version more aligned with Visconti, original Visconti, of course, the Tower and Devil are not in. We have not the original, but I made a new version more in line with the older Italian tarot than Marseille. At this point, I said, why not making the alternative version of all the cards who changed according to Visconti, Marseille, Bologna, and a few other versions I'll show you here. So at the end, I found myself with 18 alternate cards. And I say, okay, let's make a box with variations. I have the instruction inside. I can show you. You can see this page.
Yeah, I'll just zoom in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have here the Visconti Homage. We have
Tarot de Marseille,
Charles VI.
Season Bolognese, and so.
Tarot and Minchiate and Tarot de Marseille.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have the if you want the instruction. If you want to transform the deck, here we have the Visconti Homage, so the version. You want to make the Marseille version? Fine. You just change these 7 cards. You have the Visconti version. That's all. This is the idea of the variation.
It's amazing. It's exciting. Yeah.
And for instance, this is the from front emperor, which is Bolognese style, while Marseille and TDM is from profile. But we have another emperor in the Visconti Brambilla, which is the model of this card. It's exactly from front. So this is the alternate version of the emperor.
And this one is the example of the gold foiling at the back and silver foiling on his arms and
yes,
yeah.
See. I don't know if you want to show the same card.
Yeah, I can find it. Yeah.
Yes, it's
So the emperor.
Yes. So here we have the standard emperor, which I prefer. Want to be very clear on this.
So
this
it's more facing to the side.
Yes,
emperor,
this is
yeah.
my. But also, I like
Cross
more
legs.
the image. I think I make the best artistic work. I'd say with this than this. But I want to make the
Both.
front. If you want this, we have it.
Yeah, to have a version of it, great. Yeah.
So we go by genre, by region. We are going to the Bolognese cards. Here we have the strength and the forza. Forza that in the standard version is with the lion, like in Marseille, and also in Visconti, because Visconti we have the baseball player with the the dog, but the Visconti Modrone have a strength with a lady with the lion, which is freely inspired this version.
But what I like that you kept the body of the forza of the strength the same, but you just changed the pillar and the lion. Yeah.
And this is mandatory, my thing, to show that we are working with a pattern. I mean, the artist had books with models for images, and they used this model. and so it's correct to, it's not to work less, but it's just to show that there is a model that you can adapt to various situations. I want the column instead of line. Here it was possible, not always is possible. Here it was very easy to use the same image. I think it's a feature to have the same image with just the different detail.
Yeah, no, that's great, yeah.
Yes.
So what do we have next? The star?
We have star, moon, and sun. And we have to talk together of these three, my opinion, because the main difference in the version in these cards.
I'll just show that's the original there in my
Yes,
hands.
I can start from here. Dunque, you don't know that the Visconti Sforza has no original moon, sun, and star cards. They were made maybe 50 years later by another artist, and very weak images. Anyway, the only hint we have that the moon card has something that I thought it was a rope, but then later, a few years ago, I understood that it's a broken bow. So broken bow is immediately think to Artemis, Diana or Artemis. While you have Diana, Artemis is the moon, for me it's absolutely obvious that the sun is Apollo. So I made this card is inspired by Vacchetta, as you say.
Vacchetta. Vacchetta is the right name to say
yes,
it.
Yes, Vacchetta is in Italian.
Because a lot of us like the Vacchetta tarot.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but we call it the wrong way.
Yes,
so yeah, Vacchetta.
Vacchetta.
Okay.
And this is also quite similar to Vacchetta or Mitelli, something like this as vague inspiration for Apollo. With the lyre, and at this point it's obvious that the star is Venus. Also, if you look at the Marseille Venus, it's obvious it's Venus at bat in this card, in my opinion, of course. Yeah, we have a lady with a dove, which is the Venus bird. So, to make it short, for me, the original card are Venus, Artemis, and Apollo for this. And this is the original.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
This is original, how I interpreted this code. The Bolognese version is based on Charles as is one of the oldest decks, and we have two of these cards. They are identical to modern Bolognese tarot, so there is no reason not to think that star in Charles VI was like the Bolognese, is something like this. Image changed a lot in modern time, but the original is the Three Wise Men, and I made the Three Wise Men looking at the star and like saying, no, this is the right way to follow. When they meet, I think this is how I created. But actually, this I'll show you later is a collage I made with Ercole d'Este.
Okay, so d'Este, yeah.
Yes. And these are the different cards from my version of Visconti and Bolognese. These 5 cards are the variation for Bolognese. Ercole d'Este, we have a few, we have just 8 majors, and they are among the most beautiful, in my opinion, of the ancient deck. This is the card with 2, not 3 people looking at the star.
And Este Tarot was linked to Ferrara and the Este family, correct?
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So it's the same energy with 3 persons, one more. And the other card in Este deck is this beautiful moon.
Yeah, I love
It's
that. I
the
told
most
you that I love the
beautiful-
color of the,
Yes. And this moon, you find it in also Minchiate, and not moon but sun, switched to sun in the Vieux and Flemish Tarot, there was a shift of symbols. In Vieux and Flemish Tarot, the
I
symbol...
think in Vieux the astronomer was for the star card, I think, from memory, no?
Yes,
The star, it is, it has shifted.
No, sir. Yes, this shifted to star, yes. And this image, where is this image in Vieux is shifted to moon.
Yes, the weaver,
Yes. In my opinion, this image became the lovers in
right,
in Vieux,
okay.
but this is more difficult to accept. For me, it's absolutely obvious, but I know that people have big issues accepting that.
To prove it,
that the three person in Vieux, remember, this is the first deck with three person in a lower card. It's the same of, if you put together the Bolognese card, and you see there is even a star behind the Cupid. If you look at the anyway, let's go on. So this is in Minchiate and switched in. We have a funny sun. Where is the sun? Here. Here I removed the barrel because the original has Alexander the Great and Diogenes with this barrel. When he says that Alexander, please move, you are covering the sun.
Yeah.
I made another modified. I removed the barrel because it's not good as aesthetics. And imagine something different, like the Scuola di Atene, Athens school, with Socrates, not Socrates, Aristoteles and Plato discussing, and we have Raphael fresco with they discussing how one say you up and down, so something like this. So even again, two philosophers, one say up and down, inspired by Ercole d'Este. Finally, this is the funny
the world,
the world, yes, of Ercole d'Este.
And
this
that's
is,
the
standard.
Is,
This is very similar to Bolognese, to the one I put in Visconti.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes, my very first version used scarf for the ace of coin. Before making the snake. My first, of course, was gold. Anyway, this is Ercole d'Este. Then these two cards are reused in Minchiate. In Minchiate you have not the origin, you have not the barrel, but still two person, one sitting, one not, dressed not naked like the person in Marseille. There's one change in Minchiate, is this card, which is very possible one of the three wise men running with I don't know, maybe Mirra following the sun. So I make also this card to make the Minchiate version. This is the tower also of the Minchiate. The standard version is just without this person.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yes. Because in Minchiate where people maybe in Minchiate is not a thunder, you are not falling from the tower, but you are escaping from the Lost Paradise and the story. Yes, you can see here that the man escaping from the tower is the same image I used for the sun, the Marseille sun.
Yeah, the mirrors, mirrored images.
Again, I wanted to point out that we work with models. So, for instance, if you look at also the original Visconti cards, you can see that the queens are the same, the queen of spades and coin, I think. They are the same image mirrored, because we reuse the model of, this is just an economy of making a card. So it's another card in the Minchiate style. I think I have the 3 cards, and let's make also these. And finally, we have the variation for Marseille.
Marseille, yeah. That's more like I'm most familiar with, yeah, of
Yes.
course, yeah.
So this is actually was originally the death in my version. Then I think 2 years ago I made a riding death. I like it very much. I think it's better. Also, this is interesting. The Visconti Sforza is the only walking deck in Italian decks before Tarot de Marseille.
Right.
All the other Italian deck have a riding deck, in Minchiate to Bolognese. Every Italian deck is with the horse,
Okay.
except the Visconti.
Yeah, right.
So I say, okay, let's do it. Even the original Visconti has this card. I think it's I think this is the more correct for the so-called tarot.
But
So-
I think if you do it Visconti Homage, it's good to
Yes.
have an alternative
Yes.
that feels like
Yes.
if some people
Yeah,
are familiar with
yes.
Visconti, yeah.
Yes, let's say that this is the more, and this is the Tarot de Marseille version. This is the more standard Devil and Tower.
Yeah.
You
So
can
what we
see
used in
the one,
Marseille, the Devil and the Tower.
yes.
Yeah, so we have the Devil here, and
And if this one, you see,
Yeah,
we have a
yeah.
very standard Devil with the 2 minions, and here is more simple, more inspired of the oldest deck, like vaguely to Rosenwald inspiration. And same thing for the tower, which is yes, inspired by the Rosenwald. While here we have the standard Marseille version of deck. Finally, we have the Star, Moon, and Sun in Marseille version. The most difficult to realize for me was the moon, because I can see the deck is bidimensional. There is no perspective, so it was difficult to make because you need perspective to make to see the water in the moon. So at the end I make just rotated by 90 degrees, so you have the planar rotated. And it works reasonably.
and you did the silver as well, so it's
And
like
yes,
we see the
yes.
silver more like the coolness of the water. Yeah.
Yes. And the last card is the world. Yes, it's not exactly like a Marseille deck, because in Marseille you have not the world. But I think you must have the even in a Marseille. There is a limit to. I mean, I didn't make a 2-person lover.
Yeah, yeah.
First 2-person. So I think you must have the. Then you say is a man, is a woman. That's not so important. In my opinion, is a man or woman. The world is the world.
The world, yeah.
But you have
Yeah.
these.
And with the word, like many people talk about androgynous figure for the world. So yeah.
Yes. Well, he chose these kind of images, this without faces and really stylized. Mostly because I'm not a good painter. I couldn't make nice faces.
The expressions, yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to make good.
But you did
expression.
still keep the direction, where they're facing, like they're facing each other, so we can read the cards
Yeah.
if they're facing straight ahead, away from each other. Yeah, you
Yes.
still kept that. Yeah,
Yes, this is important. But it's also because it is not important to make the expression, in my opinion. You can imagine the face, and also with gold it works, because gold we have this aura, and it's very easy to image in the missing part of the cards.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this, but also it's also for my own memory, because you know how I have traveled throughout Italy and I've been to different castles. So if you can just show the front of the box and tell us about the what the coats of armor, right?
Yes,
They
yeah,
are the shields, yeah.
they are freely imagined. This is the Visconti symbol, of course.
Of Milan. So,
Yes,
yeah.
it's also on the main box of the one I choose for.
Yeah, and I told you how exciting it is for me because I saw it on the
Yes,
castle in
I
Milan.
know. So this is the box of the variation, is the variant, is variation. I put the symbols, Visconti, this is a Medici symbol with the balls. This is a Ferrara and D'Este family symbol. This is a Bolognese symbol. This one is Venice, even if I didn't put any version of from Venice. It's one of the three more important. This is also is a nice symbol. Maybe
Yeah, it's very nice one, yeah.
And this is you can find it on 4 of coin of all the Tarot de Marseille.
The fleur-de-lis, yeah, that is, yeah.
Fleur-de-lis.
Yeah.
So this, to show that it's a variation, regional variation.
And the Medici, of course, is the reference to Florence.
Yes, of
So
course.
yeah, that's why for me it's so exciting, because to those 5 places in Italy, I visited them.
Sì, sì.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yes, take in mind that
it's a good memory for
in
me.
my opinion, the Charles Tarot for sure were made in Florence, and it's possible that it was made for Medici family, because we have this symbol with the stylized in the images of the cards. So it's possible it was really made for Medici family,
Okay.
the Charles.
Yeah.
So that's why Florence is so important.
It's a good kind of thing to think, because D'Este family had some cards, Visconti Sforza had some
Yeah.
cards, right? So Medici, they should have, like
Yes.
logically, they should have had some cards.
Yes, and yeah, if you want, we have the the rules, the instruction. Of course, you can make the deck as you want. I remember one day I said, "Oh my goodness, I created the monster," because I sent to a person the variation together. Like, I like it. I put all together. So yes, this deck with 4 star, 3 star. No, it's not made. Please don't do this. But of course, when you have the deck, you can do what you want. So, but this is the plan for the correct substitution of the
Substitution,
original.
yeah, the alternatives.
Then,
yeah.
of course, if you want to make a deck, no, I want to change just someone. Is your deck, do what you want.
Yeah.
These are how the cards are
Yeah.
originated.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing this, and for me it will be really hard to choose alternatives, but as I just mentioned to you, I think I will be very much wearing Visconti and Marseille versions, because
It's perfectly fine. For instance, my personal deck used the Ercole d'Este Moon. By the way, it's the first moon I made 30 years ago, and I think it's the best moon ever, the original, of course, not mine. So I think it's the right one for my personal deck. And of course, I give the alternative. If you want, I like to think of tarot history by story of tarot symbols. By images, like pompous, no? I like to think of this. Of course, it's not, but of course you can mix the cards as you want. please use just one card.
Yeah, of course, no, yeah, that I know, and that
Yes,
I will
but-
do, yeah. And with D'Este, just simply, I'm not familiar with D'Este yet, so it's something for me to research and something for me to study, the Tarot of the D'Este family, yeah. So, thank you so much for joining me here all the way from Rome, Marco,
Thank you.
and for sharing. And of course, this video you will see little snippets and my walkthrough, of course, with the camera down. But thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by and for watching us all the way from Rome.
Okay,
Bye, everyone.
ciao.
Ciao, arrivederci.
Sì.